What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris. It's another amazing episode of Financipation. On this channel, everybody, I'm an MBA and I have over 20 years of financial experience as far as teaching people how to make money, how to save money, how to invest money. In this podcast, everybody, we're going to do chapter 2 and we're going to talk about Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill and what you should do financially now that it has passed, okay? Before I go any further, please hit that notification button so that you know when I drop new content, as I'm giving you an MBA level of investing and financial knowledge for free here on Financipation, okay? So let's get started. So now that Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, the first thing that you should do financially to succeed in this economy is to create a budget. Now, this sounds extremely rudimentary, everybody, and this is something that I literally do every time I do a financial one-on-one with anybody is I tell you to create a budget. And the reason why I do that is simple. You have got to realize how much money you have going out, and you have got to realize how much money you have coming in, especially in this economy, as we essentially literally have cut over $1 trillion of spending in regards to Medicare, Medicaid, healthcare, and giving that $1 trillion essentially to billionaires and to the top 1%. So as a result of that, everybody, a lot of people's financial calculus is about to start getting scrambled for a very simple reason. If you have no idea how much money you have coming out, you have know how much money you have going in, and with inflation rising right now and unemployment rising all across the country, you had better have an idea about where your money is going and more importantly, what you are doing when you get that money. So I tell everybody to do is this. Your first 3 months when you set your budget, essentially, literally track every penny. And as you track every penny, it gives you an idea about what you're spending too much money on, what you're spending too little money on, and most importantly, how much or how little you are investing. So now that Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, the first thing you should do financially is to create a budget. Next, now that Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, the second thing that you should do financially is to create a 9 to 12 month emergency fund. Now, this is also another point that's relatively rudimentary for a very simple reason. Typically speaking, most financial analysts agree that you need an emergency fund. The reason why I'm saying 9 to 12 months is because we literally are entering, to some extent, unprecedented waters when it comes to what's going on financially in America. In regards to the tariffs, in regards to trade wars and things like that are going on with China, with Brazil, with Mexico, with Canada, where literally other nations are literally crapping trade deals and completely writing America out of it. This is one of those kind of times in history where we honestly don't know what's going to happen. And if I were to keep it completely real and keep it 100, I honestly think we were headed toward a 2008 style meltdown and crisis. And the reason why I say that is because most economists predict that we are headed towards a recession. And secondly, if you take a look at the history of this country in regards to tariffs, typically speaking, whenever we have passed any form of tariffs or any types of trade wars, we have entered recessions. Look no further than the Hoots-Smalley Tariff Act that happened in the 1920s, which directly led to the Great Depression that happened in the 1930s. And the same thing also happened in 2018 under the first Trump administration, where we essentially passed tariffs that led to trade wars with our European allies. And the same thing right now is currently happening with China. You are a soybean farmer from Minnesota. You are well aware of the fact that at some point, 60% of your crops essentially went to China. Well, China has essentially created trade deals now with Brazil in retaliation to Donald Trump putting a 145% tariff on them. And as a result, China gets nearly all of their soybeans now from Brazil and not from the United States of America. So as a result of that, if you are a farmer right now, you are seriously feeling it and feeling the pinch. As I said earlier, create that 9 to 12 month emergency fund. Why? Because I think a lot of people are unfortunately about to lose their houses. They're about to lose their health care. They're about to lose their jobs, like workers. Look no further than the construction workers, Doge, in regards to federal employees and things of that nature. And as a result of that, you need to make sure that you have a fully stocked emergency fund. I'm saying 9 to 12 months because in the event that one of those once in a decade opportunities pops up in regards to mass foreclosures, in regards to people losing their homes, it sucks for those individuals, but it's put you in a prime time position to essentially become a buyer and to essentially buy a home and become a real estate investor. And for what it's worth, lots of people, hundreds of thousands of Americans actually became millionaires during the last Great Recession that we had in 2008. And the same thing could conceivably happen here. The next thing that you should do now that Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed is to have a 9 to 12 month emergency fund. Next, now that Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, the third thing that you should do financially is to invest into your company's 401k match. Now, the 401k match is literally free money. And the reason why I say it's free money is for this reason. If you work for a company that says pay us $5,000 on Valentine's Day and we will give you $10,000 on Christmas Day, name one of you that would not take that deal. That's essentially what the 401k match is, where when your company essentially invests a certain percentage of the money that you put into your 401k, that everybody is free money. And I don't know anybody that does not like free money. So If you are not investing into your 401k, it's quite simple. I want you to walk into your HR manager's office tomorrow, or simply send them an email and say, do we have a 401k match in this company? And if they say yes, whatever that match is, whether it's the first $5,000, they match the first $5,000 you put in there, whether it's the first 100% of the first 6% you put into your account, whatever it is, whatever that amount is for your 401k match, you need to essentially invest your money up to that amount. I don't care what kind of financial state you're in. The reason why, because it is literally free money. So now that Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, the third thing that you should do financially is to invest into your company's 401k match. Next, now that Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, the next thing that you should do financially is to start a business and to come up with a different side hustles that allow you to make more money. Now, there are two different streams of thought when it comes to building generational wealth. You have the kind that I like, which is essentially to cut your spending. And you also have the kind that I like, which is to start a business and to make more money. So I'm one of those types that says you should cut your spending and you should figure out ways to make more money. Whether it's you doing Uber Eats, whether it's you driving Lyft, whether it's you starting a business, or whether it's you essentially doing some kind of side hustle on the side. Everybody, it does not matter exactly what your side hustle is. You should be figuring out different ways in Donald Trump's economy, everybody, to make more money. And once again, if you want to go the immediate side hustle route, Uber Eats is a very easy way to make more money on the side. Driving Lyft is a very easy way to make money on the side. If you're more the entrepreneurial type, you want to start your own business, it's quite simple, right? I want you to go to www.legalzoom.com and start a business as an EIN or an employment identification number. It's like the social security number essentially for people that own businesses. And when you start that business, it's quite simple. People always ask me, Chris, what should I start my business in? I'm glad that you asked. Start a business, everybody, in something that A, you are passionate about, and B, that fixes a pain point. Because if it's a pain point, that means people are going to pay you essentially to fix that problem. So for instance, I like talking money. I like talking finance. I like working out. In my younger days, I started a personal training business. And when I started realizing the amount of money and the fact that everybody essentially wants to learn how to make money, how to save money, how to invest money, how to build generational wealth, I started Financipation. Find a problem that you can solve that you are passionate about, and that's what you start your business in, okay? Now that Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, the next thing you should do financially is to start a business and come up with different side hustles that make you more money. And also, everybody, I want you to drop a comment in the section below about what kind of business you're thinking about starting, whether it's you driving Uber, whether it's you basically starting a dog walking business, whether it's you becoming a personal trainer, whatever it is. Figure out a way, everybody, to make a couple extra $1,000 every month. Next, now that Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, the next thing that you should do financially is to pay off all high interest debt. Now, this is one of those things that could potentially take a couple years, and I won't lie, this is something I actually fell a victim to myself on my road to building generational wealth, everybody. And I'm going to be real with you, depending on how much money you owe, this is one of those things that could take 3 to 5 years, sometimes even longer than that. But I will say this, create that budget, figure out where your expenses are going, and then figure out a way to maximize the amount of debt you are paying off every month. Now, there are two different types of methods to pay off debt. One is the debt snowball, and the other is what I call the debt shotgun. I honestly did both on my way to building generational wealth and getting out of debt. So this is what the debt snowball is. Imagine you owe $1,000 to one person, $2,000 to the next person, $3,000 to the next person, and $4,000 to the next person. With the debt snowball, you would pay off the $1,000 debt first. You pay off the $2,000 debt second. You pay off the $3,000 debt third. And you pay off the $4,000 debt last, regardless of what the interest rates were. Now, let's say that for that $4,000 debt, you had a 20% interest rate because it was credit card debt. And let's say for that $3,000 debt, you had a 15% income, you had a 15% interest rate. For the $2,000 debt, you had a 10% interest rate. For the $1,000 debt, you only had a 5% interest rate. With a debt shotgun, you would ignore the amount of money that you owe and you would immediately pay off the one that has the highest interest rate. So in this particular case, it would be the one that has a 20% interest rate. Then you would pay off the next one that has a 15% interest rate. Then you would pay off the next debt that has a 10% interest rate. And then you lastly pay off the one that's the cheapest that only has a 5% interest rate. So with the debt shotgun method, you basically approach the most expensive debt first, the largest interest rate and the largest APY, and that's when you pay off. And with that particular method, financially, it makes the most sense because you pay off the most expensive debt first. On my road to getting out of debt, that's essentially what I did. I figured out which one had the highest interest rates, and that was one that I threw all my money towards. And the ones that had the lowest interest rate, those are the ones that I paid off essentially last, regardless of what the numerical numbers were. So now that Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, the fifth thing that you should do, everybody, is to financially pay off all of your high interest debts. And this is one of the ones, like I said, you have to be patient with it because it's fun to invest your money. It's fun to start a business, and it's fun to essentially buy things that appreciate in value. It's fun buying assets over liabilities. It is not fun, however, sticking to a budget and just paying off debt after debt after debt. That's kind of repetitive, it's kind of boring. It's no different from watching corn grow in Iowa in August. Having said that though, it's also one of the most revealing and the coolest things in the world when you are completely debt free. Please hit that notification bell so you know when I drop new content. And please hit that like button. Please share the video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, as I'm giving you an MBA level worth of investing in financial knowledge for free here on YouTube, okay? Also, if you're interested in going to college for free, please check out this book right here that can be purchased on Amazon, where I essentially walk you through how I obtained over $300,000 to get my engineering degree for free from undergrad, okay? I went to college for free, and so can you. Next, now that Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, the next thing you should do financially is to invest at least 20 to 25% into your retirement accounts, like your Roth IRA, your HSA, your SEP IRA, and your brokerage accounts. So in 2025, everybody, you can invest approximately $7,000 if you are 49 or under, and approximately $8,000 if you are 50 and up into your Roth IRA. In 2025, everybody, you can invest approximately $23,500 into your 401k. In 2025, everybody, you can invest approximately $4,300 into your HSA if you are single. And in 2025, you can invest approximately $8,550 into your HSA or health savings account if you are married or filing jointly. And anybody that's 55 and up can invest $1,000 more into that. So lastly, in 2025, if you are an entrepreneur, you are a business owner, you can invest, and you have a legal EIN number, you can invest approximately $70,000 into your SEP IRA, because a SEP IRA is essentially a Roth IRA for us entrepreneurs and for us business owners. And people, if you play your cards right and you essentially max out your Roth IRA, you max out your HSA, you max out your 401k, and you max out your SEP IRA, you literally will be investing around $113,350 into your taxable efficient accounts. And I personally only invest into broad market, total stock market index funds that have a high dividend ratio and return through Charles Schwab, Fidelity, or Vanguard. Next, now that Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, the next thing you should do to financially thrive in this economy is to start saving for your children's college fund. I'm actually going to film a separate podcast about this one because college has literally just been decimated, at least college funding for that matter, for Pell Grants and federal income that is given to public universities under the big, beautiful bill. I'm actually going to film a separate podcast about that, and I'm going to talk about that next week. Historically, the big, beautiful bill, as I stated earlier, has literally decimated federal funding for colleges, and it has essentially taken billions, with a B, dollars of funding away from public colleges, from historically black college universities, so that guys like Elon Musk and Donald Trump get that tax cut that only goes to the top 1%. And that tax cut, everybody, is literally in the trillions of dollars. So if you are sending your kids to college, you need to basically literally go online and start a 529 through Fidelity, Charles Schwab, or Vanguard. And there are pros and cons of 529s. I had other podcasts, go check them out, okay? You need to essentially, everybody, create a 529 or a UTMA account for your children so they can go to college. Why? Because it's a tax efficient account. It to some extent, if you get a 529, it can actually lower your taxable income. And most important, it allows you to use the stock market to invest into your children's college fund. And the stock market historically averages about 12%. Whereas if you put it into like a high interest account or to some kind of college saving Gerber baby account, you might get 2%, okay? Next. Now that Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, the next thing you should do financially is to pay off your home as early as possible and get into becoming a real estate investor. If you take a look at the amount of Canadians, the amount of immigrants that are leaving the country, the amount of people that are being deported, or the amount of breadwinners that are being deported, and that's what the families have to leave this country because they can no longer afford the houses they live in. This is the epitome, everybody, of a buyer's market. So let's say you get a house that has 4 bedrooms and the mortgage is $2,700 a month, and you basically rent out each room, 4 rooms, for $1,000 a month. That would mean, everybody, you are having a positive cash flow because you are bringing in $4,000 a month, but you're only spending $27 a month for that particular home. You're bringing a positive cash flow, everybody, of over $1,300 per month. That means, everybody, you have a positive cash flow of passive income. So the next way to financially thrive under Donald Trump's economy, because he's just passed his big, beautiful bill, is to become a real estate investor. Next, now that Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, the last thing that you should do financially is to get off of social media, mainstream media, and maintain your sanity. Everybody, if you watch Fox News and CNN and MSNBC every night and you consume hours of this garbage and hours of social media content with the left bashing the right and the right bashing the left, you are literally going to go crazy. My personal advice is this: Don't necessarily focus on the White House, focus on your house. Yes, you need to vote in every election, but at the end of the day, everybody, there's only so much you can do. My personal advice, if you are going to watch the news, watch things like BBC, Al Jazeera, or international news stations, because I find them to be considerably more newsworthy for one, and they also are a lot less politically biased. So if you do want to watch the news, watch things like the Midas Touch, international news stations, or Al Jazeera, because once again, I find the news that they give has a lot less BS to it and is a lot more factual, especially when it comes to how the rest of the world is currently viewing the United States of America. So, lastly, I want to give a shout out to Killer Solutions. They're one of my sponsors. If you need digital marketing, website development, or someone to essentially edit your YouTube videos, they're the best in the business, meeting all of your digital needs. Second, I want you to check out the next chapter in this podcast where I'm going to talk about essentially how college students and parents should prepare for college now that Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill has become law. This channel, Financiation, is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about investing money. It's all about building generational wealth. And it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. You can book a one-on-one session with me at any point. The link's below. I'm not giving you financial advice on this channel. You just make responsible decisions based on the thorough, independent research that you do for yourself. Okay? Please check me out. My website is www.therealfinanciation.com. My Instagram is thereal_financiation. And my Spotify is Financipation. In addition, my TikTok is Financipation as well. And check out my Facebook page, Financipation. And check out my financial blog, Financipation, where I drop weekly content on things like HSAs, real estate investment trust, 4% rule, and things like that, okay? And lastly, check out some of my digital, my e-products below as well, like my scholarship book. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Please drop the comment below, everybody. It's your boy, Chris. And thank you, Killer Solutions, for all these dope graphics. It's your boy, Chris. I'm out. Peace. Peace.